welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
About 4 days ago, through most of the heartland of America and along the eastern seaboard, temperatures in the low 80s. And now we're down into the low 60s, but all in all, a beautiful Sunday. And you saw the wind gusting from 20 to 30 miles per hour. And right before we get started, where the Vikings have won the toss, ball blows off the tee.
Well, I saw Sam Bradford down on the field in pregame warmups, and the wind was a bit of a concern for him. And we'll see if it plays into the ball game in the passing game for these two teams.
Walsh spins it away and back through the back end of the end zone out to the 25. Comes a 23-year-old out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Grew up a Minnesota Vikings fan, idolizing Brett Favre, and that would be the rookie Carson Wentz. Had his first, I guess you could say, hiccup, Troy, last week, although the offense didn't do much to provide better numbers in 11 of 22. He was very, very good the first 4 games of the year.
Yes, he was, and you're right. I guess if you were to look at his first 5 games and say, was last week a rookie moment, I guess you would say it was, comparatively speaking, but I think a lot of it had to do with that offensive line. Not a lot of protection in that game last week.
We will be watching the right side of that line all day. They throw to the right side, and the first pass is completed to Nelson Aguilar. Well, the first 3 games of the season, the Eagles did not turn the ball over one time, piling up 31 points per game, just short of 400 yards and a lot of yards in the passing game. Last 2, both losses, everything down, sacks up.
Well, the best thing they've done this year is protect the football. And you know, the other thing the last 2 weeks is they've just had far too many penalties, something they were able to avoid.
All right, go ahead. I'm putting the ball on the tee for you.
Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that's Vaitai, the rookie right tackle, coming off a tough first NFL start last week. And he's a concern, in my opinion, when you talk about the struggles that he had. Heck, through the first 4 weeks, he was not even in uniform. So his first game to even get in uniform was also his first start in this league, and it was a tough afternoon.
Yeah, right from the get-go, going up against Ryan Kerrigan and the Redskins. Second down, they'll turn and hand it to Ryan Matthews. And he is met by the leading tackler a year ago of these Vikings, Eric Kendricks. Don't know if one single guy stands out, but boy, they get after people. Number 2 overall, number 1 in points allowed per game.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like what we see in Seattle, with not real complicated on early downs and a group of veteran players that know Mike Zimmer's defensive scheme. He still calls the defensive plays. He still installs the defense during the week, and these guys are able to cut it loose on Sunday, knowing exactly what the assignments are.
3rd down and 5. And it looked like Green Beckham was not expecting the football. That may have hit him right in the face, if not the neck. That was a perfect throw. Should have been a first down.
Yeah, it was. He's working against Xavier Rhodes. He slips just a little bit as he's trying to come out of that break. But, Xavier Rhodes, these are physical, aggressive corners. And I think he got physical there with Beckham, and just enough to throw him off and not able to convert the 3rd down.
Donnie Jones, and he blasts this one, backing up Sherrills, who's already returned a pair of punts for touchdowns this year. And look out for Marcus Sherrills. Anytime he puts his hands on the football, dropped to the 19-yard line by Trey Burton. Hey, by the way, before we talk about Sam Bradford, did you just punt the right tackle's name of the Eagles? I'm going to get back to that in a minute.
Talking about Halapoulivaati? Is that what you're saying? Vaitai?
Boy, you're on it. You're on it. There you have it.
Well, hey, they ended up last week having to give him some help against the Washington Redskins, and this defensive front is even more of a challenge, and they'll need to continue to give him some help here this afternoon.
Asiata in the backfield. He was busy last week, by far his busiest day of this young season. Sam Bradford traded 8 days before the season opener. Spent 1 year here in Philadelphia. That's in 4 starts. After being traded over, Sean Hill started the first game of the year in a victory against Tennessee. Bradford has started every game since, has not thrown a single interception. His first pass is caught by Asiata out of the backfield, and he's up to the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Now, this is not an offense. It's piling up the points or piling up the yards per game in any form or fashion.
Well, there's just not a lot really to hang their hat on, to be honest with you, because they've had to try to protect an offensive line. They're without their 2 starting tackles that have gone down, and they're on IR. They've had some adjustments that have had to be made, and Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, they got to get the ball out of Bradford's hands quickly, and they've not been able to run the ball with any effectiveness.
And it's dropped by Asiata, although Leotis McKelvin was right there in front of him had he made the tackle, so each team 3 and out.
Yeah, as we talked about, I think that, you know, it's always going to be tough to move the ball against the Vikings. They're as good as there is in this league, top 5 in virtually every major category. Most points they've given up all season, week 1, was 16 points. So the Eagles defensively, they have to know coming into this game they've got to match that. And it's a good start for them with a 3 and out.
Jeff Locke sets a punt away. Great return, men, for each team today. Sherrills, and on the other side, Darren Sproles. Great coverage there. There is a penalty flag well behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that might be running into the kicker, Tom, and if it is, that'll be a 1st down.
Running into the kicker, defense 54. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
That's Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Yeah, not smart. We talked about it already. They had the false start on Vaitai when they get a nice gain on 1st down on the opening possession. Another defensive stop. We saw it last week with Fletcher Cox. They stop an opponent, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Instead, a drive stays alive, and they end up scoring a touchdown. And now, to force the Vikings to punt, and you see right there what's happened. Lead the league with the most penalties per game, and it's just something that has really hurt this football team here for now 2 weeks, and then the early part of this game.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks they've committed 27 penalties for nearly 230 yards. 27. First carry of the day for Jerick McKinnon. You know, McKinnon and Asiata, you brought up the name earlier about Adrian Peterson. No one replaces Peterson. Seagulls defense, numbers are pretty good. 3rd in points per game. Under first-year defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. Looking down the field. And it's incomplete. Able to recover there. That ball slightly underthrown. It looked like Johnson got behind Nolan Carroll.
Well, Charles Johnson was about 4 yards past Carroll, and that was a touchdown. And good protection up front. He's able to hold it a little bit, and you're going to see, you know, just kind of slow plays him coming off the ball, and Carroll's expecting the ball to come out, because the one thing that we've not been able to see from the Vikings is the deep shots down the field. They've just simply not trusted protection enough to take enough of those deep balls. Carroll, they catch him flat-footed. Bradford misses a great opportunity for what would have been 6 points.
Third and 9. That is the security blanket for Bradford, and that's a big tight end, Kyle Rudolph. It looks as though he will be just short, maybe a yard short of a 1st down. He is, and they'll punt it.
Well, we'll see if they're able to now get off the field. So the Eagles defensively do another good job of forcing the punt after giving them the 1st down running into the punter.
Sproles 7 punt returns for touchdowns in his outstanding NFL career. Still going strong at 33 years young in his 12th season. What a great punt. No score. Nearly 5 minutes in Philadelphia.
General, there's been a breach. We need your password so we can lock down the system.
My password?
Yes, sir, we need your password.
The password that I use?
Yes, sir, your password.
There's been another breach.
Sir.
Right, oh, okay. IHATEMYJOB1.
I hate my job. One?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $59 one way. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
How's it going?
Hi.
Today we're going to be comparing the roll-form steel bed of the Chevy Silverado to the aluminum bed of this competitor's truck.
Awesome.
Let's see how the aluminum bed of this truck held up.
Oh, that's a good size puncture.
You're aluminum now, you're gonna go, ooh.
Let's check out the Silverado's steel bed.
Wow. Yeah, a couple dents.
I'd expect more dents.
It's Truck Month. Make a strong decision. Find your tag and get over $11,000 total value on this Silverado All-Star.
Chevy clearly held up better than the Ford.
Get your fall fix with huge deals right now at Lowe's. Like 10% off appliances $396 or more. Plus, get $10 to $40 off paint and primer, stains and sealants, and resurfacers via gift card. Make your home happy this fall with the season's biggest savings at Lowe's.
All right, we're going to take you for the tour. First floor, bun. Second floor, 2 patties. Third floor, penthouse, 6 strips of bacon, sesame seed roof. Sunset.
Try the new Bacon King with a half pound of beef and 6 strips of crispy bacon. It's truly the Bacon King, only at Burger King.
I've been through a lot to earn this jersey, but Brandon over here just went to NFLshop.com and got his.
The best place to get authentic NFL gear, NFLshop.com.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Second possession for Carson Wentz. First rookie quarterback since a merger to start and win his first 3 games in a season without an interception. To see what he's done at home. Last time they were here, they blasted the heavily favored Steelers 34-3. Handed off to Ryan Matthews. Matthews always been a good back when you can get him on the field. The #1 pick in San Diego, had a couple of 1,000-yard rushing seasons, but he has missed a pile of games. Over 24 in his NFL career.
He's a physical runner, and as you said, he's been productive when he's, been available, but this is one of those games. Of course, they want to run the football anyway. They came into the year wanting to run the football, knowing they had a young quarterback, but even more important, whether they're successful running it, that was a successful first down run. Stay with it, because you can't get into a situation where Wentz is dropped back throwing it all day.
Play action on second down. Hit as he threw. And a penalty flag down. Looked like Robinson delivered the hit.
Holding, offense number 76. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
It's Alan Barber, the left guard.
Yeah, it was Alan Barber who got hurt. He's right here at left guard. He's the one who got called for the penalty, and it was against Shamar Stephen. But Stephen is the one who got the pressure into Wentz and hit him, and then Robinson came in. There was talk last week about trying to maybe move Barber to right tackle when Lane Johnson missed the game and will miss many because of his suspension. But Doug Peterson said that's not going to happen. He's a left guard, and moving him to the right side simply is not in their plans.
So another Eagles penalty. Second down throw. And it's intercepted off the batted ball. And it is Sendejo inside the 5-yard line, and the Vikings in business. He had an eye on a tight end, Brent Selleck. But Selleck was covered and covered well, and Sendejo has his second interception in as many games.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it got batted or not. I think it might have just been a high throw, but there's certainly pressure inside, and that causes an errant throw by Wentz, and just excellent coverage there by Eric Kendricks, and perfect position for Sendejo to make a play. This is an opportunistic defense. The only thing that surprised me, they didn't return for a touchdown.
The I formation. And stuffed at the line of scrimmage is Asiata. 2nd and goal coming up.
This Vikings defense is tough as there is. I mean, they are a really talented bunch. A lot of good players on that side of the ball. They're well coached, and they just don't make mistakes. And when you make one, they make you pay. That was a costly one, backed up. A ball that gets away from Wentz, and Sendejo just in a perfect position to make a play on the ball.
That is 13 takeaways for this Minnesota defense. #1 in that category as well in the NFL. It's where they normally look for Rudolph. Early movement. And they're pointing at Red Ellison.
Full
There's
start.
someone on the right side.
Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, you see it right there. It's T.J. Flemings that another penalty in this game, and this time going against the Vikings.
You know, the other thing to keep an eye on, you mentioned the name Flemings. You see in the game for the first time is Jake Long, former #1 overall pick in the draft from Miami. They just signed him this week. Only in pads 1 day, but they'd like to get him somewhere between 25 and 30 plays. Incomplete with an eye on Stephon Diggs.
Well, Mike Zimmer told us yesterday that they were going to get him into the lineup and let him get about 20-25 snaps in this game. He practiced only 1 day in pads, missed virtually the entire season last year. He's definitely rusty, but he's in a little bit earlier than I expected. Mike Zimmer acted like it might be the 3rd series or so, but he puts him in here now down here around the goal line. He's going to knock some of that rust off right away. But 3rd and goal from here. This would be a huge stop defensively if the Eagles force a field goal.
It's intercepted in the end zone. First interception thrown this year. Or is it an interception? It is. Coming out of there is Rodney McLeod, the first interception thrown by Bradford this season.
Well, there's pressure in his face, but Bradford just completely misses the safety and throws into coverage.
Big stop indeed for the Eagles defense.
Today we're going to talk about the all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze, but you're only going to answer me in emojis. So this Cruze has built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi with 24 gigs of data. It also comes with 24 months of Sirius XM satellite radio.
Like word, Chevy.
Get this Cruze with 2 years of Sirius XM radio. Find your tag and get 20% cash back on select remaining 2016 Cruze vehicles in stock. That's over $4,600 cash back on this Cruze. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
She's the reason the good times are great. And the reason the tough times are easier. Because she's your best friend and your true love. Presenting the Ever Us 2-Stone Diamond Collection. Now with beautiful rings, necklaces, and earrings. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 diamond for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
If you didn't expect to see an Applebee's USDA Choice Top Sirloin searing to smoky oak perfection on a new wood-fired grill, just wait until you see the price. Wood-fired steak with 2 sides for just $9.99. Now for a limited time, only at Applebee's.
Whether you're wearing layers, beads, stripes, or cheese. If you bleed blue, black and yellow, purple, or various shades of red, this is your beer.
Jake Browning leads the 5th-ranked Huskies on the button against 19th-ranked Utah. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on FS1.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it.
A huge swing in momentum after the interception thrown by Carson Wentz. First interception as a Viking for Sam Bradford, and you carry it into last year, 158 pass attempts without a single interception. In fact, that is the first turnover this year by the Minnesota Vikings offense. Catch out of the backfield by Brent Selleck. And that's a gain of 7. That's hard to believe, playing in their 6th game, their first turnover.
Well, TJ Clemens, as we saw, he moved over to right tackle, and you're going to see Brandon Graham here. He just beats him right off the ball inside. He gets the pressure on Bradford that affects the throw, and Bradford loses sight of McLeod in the back end. Even without pressure, McLeod was in the perfect position to make a play on the ball, so great job defensively. I was talking it'd be a huge play if they were able to force a field goal attempt. They don't give up any points.
Second down. Good protection this time. And that's Huff. And he has the first Eagles first down up to the 39-yard line.
Well, going back to TJ Clemens at right tackle because Jake Long steps in there on the left side. TJ Clemens started every game at right tackle last year, and he's kind of had an up and down year. He was up and down last year as well, and he'll have some lapses to where he allows a rusher a free shot. And Brandon Graham coming into this game was a concern to offensive coordinator Norv Turner, and he's now gone from the 3-4 back to what he's comfortable doing, rushing the passer as a defensive end. He makes a heck of a play.
Fumbled on the exchange. Wentz trying to get it. It's still a live ball. And the Vikings have the football. It looks like Anthony Barr, after 3 or 4 guys whiffed on a chance to get it, starting with Sproles, and another big turnover by this Philadelphia Eagles offense.
I couldn't tell exactly what happened on the exchange. I don't know if Sproles got his arm up or not. Nope, you know what? It came right out of Wentz's hand as he never placed it in there. The ball's coming loose from Carson Wentz. Sproles never has a chance to even take the handoff on that one, and then with an opportunity, a couple guys there, Wentz and Sproles, to get on it, and they failed to do so.
Two teams are 8-2 combined. You never know in watching the first quarter on offense so far today. So now Bradford, a chance at redemption, and he's stripped. The football is loose. Has it gone back to Philadelphia? That's Malcolm Jenkins. There is a flag on the play, and Jenkins is going to race to the end zone. But we wait on a penalty as that ball was stripped away by Connor Barwin. John Hussey, our referee, about to make a very important announcement to this sellout crowd.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 72. The ruling on the field is a touchdown. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
There's the face mask there, and Connor Barwin just simply runs right past Jake Long, and looks like that's going to be down there. Malcolm, we'll take a closer look at it and we'll see. But you see Connor Barwin come around. He just beats Jake Long, and looks like there's a touch there by Kyle Rudolph. That's should be coming back. Well, like you said, Tom, for two teams that had only turned the ball over 3 times combined coming into this game, we've seen 3 turnovers in the first 9 minutes.
Yeah, and only 2 of the 3 were on offense. The Vikings' only turnover before today was on a defensive fumble. This is a big decision. The judiciary is out. We'll be back.
You love all-day breakfast.
I love all-day breakfast.
But you don't love that you can't get all your favorites all day.
But I want McGriddles, too.
But now you'll love that you can get more all day, like those McGriddles.
Yeah, I do love that.
So you'll have to find something else to not love, like dog strollers. Or football players who stress the word "the."
The Glencoe Brook State Community College.
Or inappropriately timed political discussions.
It's as if it didn't even matter.
Get more choices you love, now with all-day breakfast.
King me.
This must be how Odell Beckham feels when he scores a game-winning touchdown.
Beckham scores! Giants touchdown!
This must be how Rico felt when he triple jumped Mr. Sanchez.
Pepsi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Today we're going to be comparing these two truck beds. Let's start over here with this aluminum bed. Put your toolbox up here.
Whoa. That's a big hole. That is unbelievable.
Now let's check out the roll-formed steel bed of the Silverado. Same angle, same empty toolbox.
Took it way better. The steel held up.
It's truck month. Make a strong decision. Find your tag and get over $11,000 total value on this Silverado All-Star.
Silverado proved it is the toughest truck here.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand. By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Pepsi. Every football moment deserves a celebration. Break out the Pepsi.
Back in Philadelphia, and we're waiting naturally on any change of possessions or scoring play. They will review it.
After review, the runner was touched down by contact on the 24-yard line. We will put the ball and enforce the 15-yard penalty from there. It'll be Philadelphia's ball, 1st and 10. Will the clock operator please reset the game clock to 6:44?
Don't know if he meant to do it or not. Rudolph clearly was trying to find the football, but that's an alert play if he was trying to do it to get a hand before Malcolm Jenkins race the other way for a touchdown. Look at this. First 318 offensive plays of the year. The Vikings don't turn it over once.
Well, that last one, well, both of them really. I mean, Brandon Graham affected the interception, and then Connor Barwin comes off the opposite side against Jake Long, who, as we said, is rusty. It'll be interesting to see if Mike Zimmer elects to go back with Jake Long, right away, or waits, or whether he gets in at all, or move TJ Clemmings back to that left side. But the Vikings have had a tough time, and not just this year, last year as well. They've had a tough time now for a few years, really having to try to protect those offensive linemen. They're struggling.
They pitch it to Matthews. But boy, when things aren't going your way on offense and you turn it over to this defense to try and get it back for you. Number 2 overall in yards per game. Number 1 in fewest points allowed per game. 2nd in sacks. 1st in takeaways. Neither team much to speak of. 41 total yards. Wentz delivers to Huff, and he is tackled by the Pro Bowl free safety Harrison Smith. Well, we've heard a lot about Carson Wentz, and we'll let you get to know him a little bit. Grew up in North Dakota, loves the outdoors. Grew up a Minnesota Vikings fan and collected jerseys. His idol was Brett Favre. Made a few bucks as a kid, umpiring baseball, and if all else fails, I don't know about all those numbers in the back. They get me nervous even now.
I don't know that he's going to need that backup career plan. I think he's pretty much set.
Third down. Steps away from pressure. Throws. And it nearly intercepted, or was it intercepted? It looked like Xavier Rhodes picked it off, and he did. A diving attempt by Rhodes, and that's his 2nd interception of the year, the 5th turnover in this first quarter.
Once you get in the Army, you hear the term Ranger, and you look at it as the highest standards. I was extremely proud to be part of the 1st Ranger Battalion. When I was deployed, I knew that USAA was taking care of my wife when she was back home. And now I know with my son, the USAA will continue to provide the insurance and protection we need.
They always say, you've served your country, so we're here to serve you.
My name is Alejandro Villanueva, and I'm a USAA member for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
Are you tired of interacting with other people in the car? Well, thanks to the Uconnect Theater, you don't have to.
Want to do all your video games right from here? Nope.
Current owners or lessees of FCA or competitive vehicles finance and get $2,000 total cash allowance on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica.
You don't have to pay a lot to get a lot. At Cricket Wireless, plans now start at $30 a month, monthly taxes and fees included. And we have more 4G LTE coverage than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
This $6.99 any deal is too good to be true. 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any recipe, no questions asked? Well, I got some questions. Does that include meat lovers?
Yeah.
Are you a hologram?
What?
The $6.99 any deal. Is it proof that no one out pizzas the hut?
Michael Crawford 340. Michael Crawford, please call 340.
Meditations start in 20 minutes in the activity room.
This place is absolutely going crazy.
The World Series is back.
Cubs Indians World Series Game 1, Tuesday at 7:30 on Fox.
Well, who wants to hang on to the football for a little while? Look at this. They're working out of the Wildcat formation. And that is McKinnon, who ran a lot of that as a quarterback during his collegiate days at Georgia Southern, and that's nearly a 9-yard gain.
We'll go back and take a look at that interception, and a great scheme by defensive caller Mike Zimmer. He goes to corner here, and then he comes underneath, which allows the safety on the other side to give help. So they take what looks like a single high safety into too deep and confuses the quarterback.
Malcolm Jenkins coming from the strong safety spot, denying a first down for McKinnon.
So you go back and look, he's got safety help over the top there, and that's why Xavier Rhodes can play underneath that receiver, and there was nothing there. Wentz should have seen that when he comes back and works that side. He tries to fit a ball in when there really was not a window to be had. But Xavier Rhodes makes a heck of a play on the ball.
Take a look at that. 7 possessions. Each of the last 5 offensive possessions have ended in a turnover. Zach Line for a first down on 3rd and 1. That is the first Vikings first down of this opening quarter. The other came on a penalty.
Well, I know talking to Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, you know, they got embarrassed last week. They ran for over 230 yards, the Washington Redskins did, and this defensive front was not very good. And he knows that he's limited in some areas on this defense, and that front 4 has to play good for them to be good on that side of the ball. They're off to a heck of a start in this one.
First down, they're going to throw it. And it's slightly thrown behind Rudolph. Good coverage by Jenkins. An early injury update on the Vikings. How about it, Aaron?
Safety Andrews Ndeho, Tom. He's actually been carted off. They're calling it questionable to return. He was injured when he intercepted Carson Wentz. They tried to retape that ankle, but needed to take him in for a further look.
They have been quite pleased with the play of Ndeho, second-year full-time starter. Had over 100 tackles a year ago, so that's a big blow to this defense.
Yeah, I think when you start listing the players they're pretty happy with on defense, it's a pretty long list.
Bradford running for his life, just throws it up. And that was nearly intercepted. A penalty flag comes down. Jenkins and Diggs got tied up down around the 20-yard line.
Well, Sam Bradford, he just gives his guy an opportunity down the field. There really wasn't much there, and Bradford unable to get much on it, and Diggs has to work back to the ball, and that's where the contact.
And that was Jalen Mills down there. I had said Bradford. Jenkins, I beg your pardon. It's a rookie out of LSU.
Well, Jalen Mills got his first start last week, and he struggled a little bit in that ball game. There were times when he was beat, and the Redskins really weren't able to take advantage of it.
How about that? No foul.
3rd down.
So they pick up the flag.
They got pressure here around the edge as you're going to see Michael Kendricks come free, and Bradford just trying to keep from getting sacked. He just sees his man one-on-one and gives him a chance, and I don't know why they picked the flag up. To me, that's pass interference, textbook pass interference.
Well, I tell you what, for a 0-0 game, This has been a wild opening quarter. 3rd down and 10 for Minnesota.
Well, Jalen Mills is once again on Diggs, their best receiver down here at the bottom, and they better give him some help or he's going to have a tough afternoon.
Dump it off out of the backfield. A 5-yard gain and another punt. Bradford coming back to Philadelphia. I mean, it's not as the injured Eagle there is Ron Brooks. You know, you hit the nail on the head early today with Carissa Thompson over on FS1. And, you know, Bradford was only here 1 year. Made 14 starts. They went 7-7 in those starts. He had some very good moments through 19 touchdowns, through 14 picks. But so far today, it's been a rough day for both of these offenses. Back in a moment.
An opening night on Broadway is kind of magic. I'm Beowulf Borat, and I'm a Broadway set designer. When I started designing Bronx Tale, the musical, I came up with this idea of 4 towers that were fire escapes, essentially. I'll build a little model in Photoshop and add these details in with a pen. I could never do that with a Mac. I feel like my job is to put out there just enough detail to spur the audience's imagination to fill in all the blanks. This Windows PC is amazing. Having all of my tools right at my fingertips is incredible.
Boy, we're shipping a ton of these goofy glasses.
Yeah, well, we gotta hand it to FedEx. They've helped make our e-commerce so easy, and now we're getting all kinds of new customers.
I know. Can you believe we're getting orders from Canada, Ireland?
This one is going to New Zealand.
New Zealand? False alarm.
Hey, you guys are gonna scare away the deer.
Idiots.
Providing global access for small business. FedEx.
Smoking meats is an art form that takes years to master. It's not easy putting brisket into a smoker, shutting the door, and checking back 13 hours later. Arby's, we have the meat.
Gotham, all new tomorrow on Fox.
Ron Brooks, still the injured Eagle down in the field.
There's Ron Brooks there, 33, and looked like that right knee maybe is what happened, but he's down and they're still tending to him on the field, and he's their nickel corner, and now without him they would likely move Malcolm Jenkins to the slot nickel position. He's played some corner in his past and then bring in another safety to take his place deep, but this looks pretty serious.
Well, while we have a moment and they continue to work on Brooks, let's check in back in L.A. a game break with Kurt Menefee.
All right, we'll check in on the Saints and Chiefs in the meantime. Spencer Ware from Alex Smith, the first receiving touchdown of Ware's career. It goes for 46 yards, ties the game at 7 apiece as they get ready to wind down the first quarter in Kansas City. Tom Troineri.
But Ware's had back-to-back, well, a start today anyway, but coming off a great week last week for Kansas City, and certainly our thoughts are with Ron Brooks. Came over as a free agent from Buffalo, a starter and first of the first 5 this year. So waiting on a punt coming up by Minnesota. 3:20 to go in this scoreless opening quarter. has been among the very best at pinning opponents inside the 15-yard line so far this year. Has 13 of those. End over end trying for number 14. Great coverage, and they down it inside the 2, and that's Cordero Patterson. Patterson's been all over the field again this year after being in the witness protection program last year.
He's getting more opportunities on offense. This is great work on his part, getting down and keeping this from getting into the end zone, and it's hard enough moving the ball against this defense when you've got all the plays at your disposal. But tell you what, Doug Peterson right now, how you're going to dig out of this hole on the 2-yard line against this defense? Good luck.
But Patterson had the spectacular rookie year. He went to the Pro Bowl. He scored receiving touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, ran a kickoff back for a touchdown. And then last year, he had 2 catches the whole year. You didn't even know he was on the team. And now all of a sudden, in all facets of the game, trying to live up to that number 1 pick, and there's early movement. Looked like Tom Johnson.
Encroachment. 92 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's an excellent job by Carson Wentz as a young player. Doug Peterson might have even told him in his headset, use the hard count. And if you jump on offense down there, it doesn't really mean much. You're going to back up a yard. What's the difference? But sure helps you kind of give yourself a little space if you're able to pull the Vikings into that neutral zone, which they do with Tom Johnson. Well done.
Be enough, or very close anyway, a first down for Ryan Matthews. It has been a turnover fest so far in this one. 3 of them for Philadelphia, 2 of them for a Minnesota Vikings offense that came in through 5 games without a single turnover.
Well, pretty crazy start, as we said. I mean, offensively, they've been able to protect the ball, but both these defenses have been decent. The Vikings better than the Eagles, but even the Eagles have done a good job in the early part of this year of creating takeaways. Both of them have been great here in this one.
Kenyon Barner checks into the backfield. That's Sproles in motion. Quick hit and a catch by Matthews. A first down up to the 23-yard line.
Well, we'll see what happens, with the rest of this drive, but already this has been a successful possession for the Philadelphia Eagles to be backed up on the 2-yard line. The first thing as an offense, you're just wanting to get a first down and give your punter some room to operate, and they were able to do that. They used the hard count, pick up 5, and then they get the first down, and now they've gotten their second first down, and now they can let it rip.
Wide receiver screen to Doriel Beckham-Green. And he's wrapped up by Kendricks.
I think that if you look at both of these offenses, especially in today's game, on what they have to do, we've seen both offensive lines have some problems when they've asked the quarterback to hold the ball. And you're going to see more and more of those types of throws. Get the ball out. Don't take sacks. Don't get the ball stripped from you. And then try to run the ball as best you can. But we felt coming in this would be a defensive battle, and it sure has been here in this first quarter.
Second down at 7. That's Wendell Smallwood, the rookie out of West Virginia, who's given him some bright moments so far this year.
You were talking about Carson Wentz, growing up a Minnesota Vikings fan, and I thought it was pretty funny when we were talking to him. He's got some friends in from North Dakota, and they're all Vikings fans, and one of them is staying with him, and Carson said, "You're not staying with me unless you buy an Eagles jersey." And he was serious. And his friend needed a place to sleep, so he went and bought one. I don't know what number he bought.
Well, he better buy number 11. I mean, he's putting you up for free.
You'd hope.
I guess it all depends on how badly you want to come back. Third down. Well, that's a dangerous throw, but Wentz made it. And Aguilar the reception to move the chains at the 35. Wow, that's a risky throw out there.
Yeah, it is. You got to be really good with the ball, but every throw like this against this defense is going to be challenged.
We're off to the second quarter in a scoreless game after a word from your local Fox station.
Red 97! Check! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh, yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Domino's it is.
No, I want salad.
Oh, no.
So we're getting salad, right? Right?
Luckily at Domino's, we love pizza so much we've added salads so no one can veto pizza night. Try one with a medium 2-topping pizza for $5.99 each.
Pitch. All new Thursday on Fox.
The 2017 Kia Sorento monitors your driving environment with available intelligent features like a lane departure warning system, advanced smart cruise control, and blind spot detection. Not to mention it was named a 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, so it helps protect you in more ways than one. The 2017 Kia Sorento. Lease a Sorento LX for $219 a month and discover other great offers during Kia's fall savings time. Hurry in today.
With Simply Right Checking from Santander Bank, just make one deposit, withdrawal, transfer, or payment each month to waive the monthly fee. And there's no minimum balance. You're all right with Simply Right Checking from Santander Bank.
The Honda Take Home a CRV sales event is here with incredible deals. Loaded with standard features like Pandora compatibility, a multi-angle rear view camera, and plenty of cargo space. It's no wonder the CRV was named a Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry into the Honda Take Home a CRV sales event and get a great deal today.
We got to go all the way back to 2005, Washington and Arizona. The last time you saw a game with 5 consecutive turnovers in the first quarter of a game, and we've seen that here today. This drive started inside the 2-yard line. And that's Zach Ertz. And that's a gain of 14 for another Philadelphia first down. Well, how about this? I mean, the Cubs and the Indians. You talk about a fall classic indeed. Coverage begins. Game 1. Pre-game show on FS1. 7 p.m. Eastern, then the game on Fox at 7:30 Eastern. Cubs' first World Series appearance since '45. They've not won one since '08. The Indians have not won a World Series since 1948. Something has to give there. Wentz rolling and had a wide open Zach Ertz, but Brent Selleck is standing all the way at the 25, and there's not a player within 15 yards of him.
Well, he's got to get the ball out a little bit quicker than what he would have wanted, and not able to get his feet set. As you see, when he comes out, looks like it was Griffin who comes up the field and doesn't allow him then to get set or get on the edge, and has to deliver the ball sooner than what he wanted. We've seen that now a couple of times where he hasn't been sacked, but the pass rush has clearly affected the throw.
All eyes were on Ertz there because he was the intended target, but it was Selleck. We didn't have anybody near him. This will be a false start against the Eagles.
False start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that's a longtime center, Pro Bowl center, Jason Kelsey. He had 2 holding penalties in the game last week against the Redskins.
That's his 7th penalty on the season. He has the most penalties on this team. Really see a lot there.
Oh, yeah. Second down and 15. Pressure coming. And through the hands of but normally sure-handed. Darren Sproles, Greenway in coverage, third down coming up.
Well, Vaitai, he's one-on-one. They don't give him any help, and he gets backed in a little bit to Carson Wentz, but he does a good enough job to allow the ball to come out. And, you know, Sproles, you just don't see that a lot from him. He's a terrific player out of the backfield and catching the ball, but this third and long stuff, this is when Mike Zimmer dials up a lot of pretty different looks, and he likes to rush 5, but you don't know what 5 they're going to be.
Well, they're going to call a timeout. There was a lot going on there, a lot of moving parts. Play clock got down to 1. And before a 3rd and 15. Timeout, Philadelphia, still no score.
Look, anyone who thinks you got to make a truck heavier to make it stronger has been working too long without a hard hat. Meet the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. They cut weight with a high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and reinvested a big chunk of it to beef up the high-strength steel frame, forging the most capable heavy-duty pickup in America. Time to punch work in the face. This is the next level. This is the all-new Ford Super Duty.
Hey, do we have any more Dr. Pepper? Pepper?
What is it, Larry?
I gotta go.
On it.
Guess I'll just drink this.
Third down and 15. And Wentz out of the shotgun. Good protection here. And looking down the field and overthrows. Aguilar down the sideline. Again, it slipped behind a Minnesota defender. That's a couple of big missed chances on this drive.
It was a missed opportunity, but Wentz turns this ball loose really soon. I mean, it was not a given that Aguilar was going to be open up the sideline, and that ball is out long before he gets past the last defender, but there was good protection in the pocket. Wentz not happy. Someone must have run a wrong route on him, but good protection that time of that line.
Well, it did look like Aguilar slowed down a little bit there. And that one is into the end zone and out to the 25. They miss Selleck on this drive. They miss Ertz on this drive. And did the Vikings get away with one right there on Aguilar?
Look, anyone who thinks you got to make a truck heavier to make it stronger has been working too long without a hard hat. Meet the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. They cut weight with a high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and reinvested a big chunk of it to beef up the high-strength steel frame, forging the most capable heavy-duty pickup in America. Time to punch work in the face. This is the next level. This is the all-new Ford Super Duty.
Hey, do we have any more Dr. Pepper? Pepper?
What is it, Larry?
I gotta go.
On it.
Guess I'll just drink this. Hey, thanks, man. You invented the playoff.
Yeah, and you got a really steep driveway. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here.
How can I help?
I go work in the morning. Don't get off in the night.
Today's game is sponsored by the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. This is the next level. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, if you've had a pretzel here in Philadelphia, chances are it was a federal pretzel. Over 100,000 of those big daily and shipped out from right here in Philly. Offenses have been shipped out so far here today. First significant run by any carrier for either team. That's McKinnon. And that's a gain of close to 9.
A lot's been said about Sam Bradford and what he had to learn. So we see McKinnon leaving the field. What he had to learn coming in here 8 days before the season opener. Take a look and see what maybe happened to him. Heck, this was his third offense that he's learned in the last 18 months.
Asiata breaks a couple of tackles and has a first down out across the 35-yard line.
And when he got here to Minnesota, had to spend a lot of time then with Norv Turner's son, Scott Turner. He's the quarterback coach, and go over the offense as best he could and try to get him up to speed and prepared to play. He did. There's a look at Scott Turner there, and a lot of late nights and a lot of early mornings. And although Sam Bradford did not start week 1, he was certainly prepared to if he had to, but he was ready week 2, and of course he's up until today he's been protecting the ball and doing a lot of really nice things.
Asiata again cuts it back up the inside and out to the 42-yard lines. This has been a beat-up Minnesota Vikings team, especially on the offensive side of the football. Khalil, the left tackle, you know about Bridgewater and Adrian Peterson in week 2. Floyd, the Philadelphia kid, over on the defensive side, but back on offense, they're starting right tackle Andre Smith, and they're hoping Diggs can finally not only get healthy, stay healthy. But when you look back at that offensive line, and you touched on it earlier, Troy, you start the year and you go Khalil, Boone, Berger, Fusco, Smith, and now all of a sudden Khalil on IR, Smith IR. They've had Boone this time. Fusco 2 weeks ago had a concussion. He had to leave the game. I mean, they really tried to patch it together. It's amazing. They're still undefeated.
You see the different offensive line combinations. Last year, all 5 starters started every game last year. Much different picture here this season. And T.J. Clemens is back at left tackle.
Catch made on third down by Diggs, and that'll move the chains up to the 47-yard line.
You know, we were visiting with Jim Schwartz, and he's very familiar with Norv Turner and the things he wants to do as a play caller, and he talked about it. He said he wants to run the ball, and then he wants to go play action and take the shots down the field. He said that the only thing is this year they're not taking as many shots as he's accustomed to seeing, and that's the reason why. And there's Norv Turner, and yeah, he'd like to take some shots. He thinks he's got some matchups at the wide receiver position that they could take advantage of, but you got to protect if you're going to go 7 steps and take the shots down the field.
Asiata wrapped up, trying to break it to the outside. Destiny Vial, the rookie, on the tackle.
There's the injury as he gets rolled up. Look like that left ankle as we saw him go off, but had some problems with that running back position, keeping him up.
Good protection this time, and Bradford missed a wide open Diggs. Both of these quarterbacks, yes, they've been under pressure. Yes, they've been hit. But yes, they have missed some throws today.
Kind of a tough throw there. You can see that Sam Bradford's trying to tell Diggs that he wanted him to take a little bit higher angle to try to drop one over the defender like he was trying to do here is not necessarily an easy thing if he thinks he's taking him on a higher angle coming out of that route. And those are some of the things that when you haven't had the time with these receivers, you're kind of working it out on the fly.
Third down and 8. Bradford delivers a strike to the big tight end. Played at Notre Dame, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph, he has become the security blanket as so many tight ends do for their quarterback, and Sam Bradford cuts it loose, just knowing that Rudolph was going to get where he was supposed to be and beat the linebacker, and good timing on that throw. And Sam Bradford said Rudolph was the guy who texted him first when the trade occurred, and those 2 guys have just really hit it off.
Hand it off to Asiata, and not much room. Jenkins comes in to drop him at the line of scrimmage. And let's check in back in Los Angeles and say hello to Carissa Thompson.
Takes Tom New Orleans at Kansas City. Drew Brees drops back and is intercepted by Daniel Sorensen. He returns it 48 yards for the score. It's his first career touchdown and second career interception. Chiefs lead 14-7. Tom, Troy, and Aaron.
All right, Carissa, thank you. 10th play of this drive. By far the most significant drive for either team today.
Looks like Jim Schwartz might bring some pressure here. They start getting in field goal range as they are, and you want to try to get a big defensive play.
5-man rush. Had an eye on Thielen. Thielen has worked his way, grew up in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. College free agent out of Minnesota State. On the practice squad at 13, 8 catches a following year, 12 last year, and now all of a sudden Bradford's one of his favorite targets.
Well, he's benefited from really kind of just running the same plays and the same offense for 3 years, and he's just continued to work at it. He's gotten better and better, and he's having a good start to this year.
Vikings 2 of 2 on 3rd down. Here they come after Bradford, and they're going to get to him. Not a sack, but underthrown, and it was Jalen Watkins. He's the Eagle that's in there playing after the injury earlier in the game to Ron Brooks.
Yeah, Schwartz, he calls blitz the last 2 plays, just trying to create a negative play and maybe, knock him out of field goal range here. And Watkins almost is able to do it. Bradford's able to step up just enough and get the ball out and avoid the sack.
This will be a 48-yard field goal attempt. Blair Walsh has hit on 9 of 12 this year. He's got a lot of leg. I mean, he's had his ups and downs. This one is good for the first points of the game. Go back to the playoff miss a year ago, and Walsh trying to earn the respect back of his head coach. It's been an up and down relationship. 3-0 Minnesota.
When you stole the throne, witch, you took away my strongest ally, my father. But you didn't know me. You never thought I'd fight back. You don't know me. But you will.
So it begins.
Rated M for mature.
Okay, anyone like coming in first place in everything that matters? Introducing the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty, the only high-strength, military-grade, aluminum alloy body, heavy-duty pickup. It takes first place in every measure of tough. Best-in-class towing, best-in-class payload, best-in-class horsepower, and best-in-class torque. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This is the next level. This is the all-new Ford Super Duty.
Papa John's scouting report on this season's best new prospect? Thick, cheesy, and golden brown. Papa John's new pan pizza with a thick, cheesy, golden brown crust. Try a 3-topping for $10.
Papa John's, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Even though Eric Gibson and his wife Brianna don't know what the future has in store for them, they bought into a 30-year mortgage anyway. Because they weren't just thinking about their future. Buy-in, Quicken Loans, home buy, refi, power.
Skyler Howard and the Mountaineers
Touchdown!
take on the Cowboys. Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox.
Week 7 continues later today on CBS. Then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN.
12 plays, 50 yards. Not a turnover, believe it or not. And 5 of them in the first quarter on 5 consecutive possessions. So now the Minnesota defense giving the lead after the Blair Walsh 48-yarder. Huff from the 2. And Huff with running room. Runs by the kicker, and he's off to the races. Inside the 20. Huff will go the distance. One week ago, it was Wendell Smallwood, an 86-yarder against the Redskins. This one, 98 yards for Josh Huff.
It's a right return, and you're going to see the seas just part. I mean, there is a huge lane there for Huff to take, and Blair Walsh was the last line of defense, and he just didn't want a whole lot of Huff on that return. Special teams in a game like this oftentimes decides the outcome. That's a great return. Not just by Huff and the speed to be able to get it all the way into the end zone, but also the job blocking by the other 10 guys.
And then what would a touchdown be without the proverbial leap and somersault into the air?
I always wonder how those guys don't get hurt.
I'm with you all the way, Doctor. With you all. Of course, that's 50-year-old guys talking.
That's true.
Well, you're not there yet.
I didn't do it when I was their age either.
Flag on that point after.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense. Philadelphia is elected to go for 2 points from the 1-yard line.
All right, so we hold that score. It's 6-3. And that's Harrison Smith that tumbled into Sturgis.
That's a big penalty, and that's when they moved back the extra point. That was the thing that teams talked about, was if there was a penalty and you were able to cut that distance in half, and you would benefit and then go for 2, and that's what Doug Peterson is elected to do.
Eagles have not attempted a 2-point conversion so far this year. And balls at the 1-yard line. Matthews in the backfield. 3 receivers split to the left. And Wentz going to run it. Wentz is a good athlete. And he's in for the 2-point conversion. Wentz goes in for the 2-point conversion. 8-3 Eagles.
Without the right tools, a 5-minute job can turn into a 5-hour job. So when it comes to your tools, choose wisely, Grasshopper. Case in point, Ford Transit. With 3 roof heights and 3 body lengths to choose from, Transit has the most configurations of any full-size van. So it's the right tool no matter what your job is. This is Ford Transit.
During Ford commercial van season, get $3,000 customer cash, plus an additional $500 commercial cash, and up to $1,000 in upfit assistance.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it. Is it suede? Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
This is the house of the passionate. This is the house of the brave. Of those who keep fighting, who honor traditions. And this is the house of their beer. Casa Modelo, home of the clean, crisp taste of Especial and the rich, smooth flavor of Negra. Quality beers, brewed for those who believe in better since 1925. Welcome to Casa Modelo.
This place is absolutely going crazy. A big one. That's why we play the game. Out of here.
The World Series is back.
World Series Game 1, Tuesday at 7:30 on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
All of a sudden, a little bit of excitement here in Philadelphia. 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. First time in team history they've gone in back-to-back weeks. It's interesting to note, those are the only 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the entire NFL so far this year.
Well, you go back to the kick return by Josh Huff. Just an excellent job up front in his lane. And again, there's Blair Walsh, and he just kind of throws his arms out there and doesn't sacrifice himself. And then it's off to the races for 6 points. And Then Harrison Smith comes in, and he's trying to pull up. You can tell he's just off balance. And Mike Zimmer, he's seen about enough of this and the way that they have played here in this first half. And he's not opposed to letting a player have it. And he tells Harrison Smith what he thinks of that.
Chris Maraguse, outstanding special teams performer for Philadelphia, shaking up on that play. Back in a moment.
This is for everyone. Are you ready? We'll take 16 million tickets, 50,000 foam hats, 2 million of those, and 1 million with cheese.
Hot dog, hot dog. What do you want? Hot dog.
3 million hot dogs and goosebumps. We'll need billions of goosebumps. 1 million pre-game rituals.
Are you done?
What else do we need? Jerseys. We'll take all of them. And one almost perfect plan. Click, tap, dip, or swipe. Choose Visa, official payment partner of the NFL.
Enjoy your phone.
You too. All right, be cool. You got the amazing new iPhone 7 on the house by switching to AT&T. What? And you got unlimited data because you have DirecTV? Okay, just a few more steps.
It's cool.
Get the iPhone 7 on us and unlimited data when you switch to AT&T and have DirecTV.
All right, we're going to take you for the tour. First floor, bun. Second floor, 2 patties. Third floor, penthouse, 6 strips of bacon, sesame seed roof. Sunset.
Try the new Bacon King with a half pound of beef and 6 strips of crispy bacon. It's truly the Bacon King, only at Burger King.
Look, anyone who thinks you gotta make a truck heavier to make it stronger has been working too long without a hard hat. Meet the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. They cut weight with a high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and reinvested a big chunk of it to beef up the high-strength steel frame, forging the most capable heavy-duty pickup in America. Time to punch work in the face. This is the next level. This is the all-new Ford Super Duty.
Good to see Chris Maraguse able to walk off and appears to be all right. Alex Boone had left for a short time into the Minnesota locker room, but he's back out there on a first play. What an effort defensively there by the middle linebacker Jordan Hicks.
You can see him right here in the middle. He's able to shoot the gap. Nobody's able to get on him, and he just reads it out. Makes a heck of a play in the backfield, and this is a Vikings team. They loaded the box defensively, but this is a Vikings offense that has heavy run tendencies on first down. Over 60% of the time they run it, second most in the National Football League, and Jim Schwartz expecting run, and they create a loss on first down.
Well, they have Ronnie Hillman in the game, and that was because of the injury to McKinnon, still standing on that sideline. Oh, it is fortunate for Sam Bradford that one did not go the other way. Leotis McKelvin had nothing but green in front of him.
Yeah, I don't know if Sam was expecting man coverage on that, or he just expected McKelvin to be playing a little softer, but he reads it. He's cluing in through the quarterback and drives on it, and they're fortunate. McKelvin, who they're glad to get back. He's been battling a hamstring injury since the first game of the season. He's missed some time and was unable to play last week, but had an opportunity for a play.
Third down, 15 into the hands of Patterson. And sniffed out by that defense led by Connor Barwin, who slowed him down.
Well, we've seen a lot of the quick passing game from Sam Bradford, and when you continually have to go that route, that defense just starts clamping down more and more, and the field gets smaller and smaller, and then at some point you got to get them off of these guys. And so the Eagles are driving on the quick throws to the flat, and just not much there right now for the Vikings.
Okay, these two teams, each with exactly 76 yards of offense. 76. Very short punt. It will bounce, but good field position just beyond the 35. Well, on offense, for these two teams, it's been this kind of a day. Whoops. 8-3.
I see gold in the air, in promise in the streets. I see love my dream. I had a dream. You were a laser light burning down the
When the sun goes down, the limes go in.
My mother passed in 2003, but she always told me, I don't care if you turn out to be a great athlete or whatever, but you need to make sure you get your college degree. Sometimes I call the house just to hear her voice.
Hi, leave a message after the beep.
Hey, Mom, this is Larry. I just want to let you know that I fulfilled the promise that you held me to. Love you.
From now until the end of the year,
shopping at small businesses could be even more rewarding.
Because when you shop small with your eligible American Express card,
you could get 2 times the rewards.
So support the businesses that make your town a community.
The people who make your community home.
Those insiders with the inside knowledge. Those friends with a welcome smile.
And you could get twice the rewards. Learn more and enroll online today at AmericanExpress.com. Get out, get together, and shop small.
Take a look at the quarterbacks today. 1 interception by Bradford, his first of the year. A pair for Wentz. The only touchdown, a 98-yard kickoff return for Philadelphia's Josh Huff. Eagles with the ball. 7:12 to play in the second quarter.
Carson Wentz there say kill, and what that means is you're changing the play, and they bring Harrison Smith down on the right side, and when he comes down, that's when Carson Wentz recognizes it. They were likely going to run the ball to the offense's right side. He changes it, and they go opposite of him and try to get out of a bad play. They still don't pick up much, but good job at the line of scrimmage. They say he handles those types of things very well.
We just heard him say the same thing again. Play action this time. And thrown behind. Zach Ertz. 3rd down.
Sometimes you come up to the line and you make those dummy calls too, you know, so that could have been a run play, and then he changes it and they go with 2 plays in the huddle, and then he throws it, or he just says that at the line to throw off the defense and not let them think it's always going to be a run, and off play action, and they have an opportunity but unable to convert.
Tell you what, this offensive line has held up pretty well so far for Philadelphia. I mean, all things considered, it started ugly, but it's a lot better than it was a week ago when they were run over by the Redskins. 3rd down. Wide receiver screen to Matthews, and you can't play it any better than Robinson did right there. Pressure by Anthony Barr coming off the edge.
Well, that's the stuff that Mike Zimmer does so well, and this defense does. They show all these guys, and then you see Robinson, he pulls out. And then he's the guy there who's able to work through 2 blockers and make a play on the ball. And that's the challenge, is trying. When you get to 3rd and long, like the Eagles were there, it's really, really tough to decipher who's coming and who's not, who's dropping out. Good defensive possession there.
Low snap. Donnie Jones able to handle it. And a fair catch at the 23 by Marcus Sherrills. Screening saves lives in the NFL. The American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a crucial catch day, October the 25th, and find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. Bo Allen grew up in Minnetonka, Minnesota. His mom a breast cancer survivor. They call him the polar bear when you grow up in Minnetonka.
Well, I think it's great what the league has done in partnering with the Susan G. Komen Foundation, and you see a lot of, you know, so many women, and then likewise a lot of their sons impacted by that disease.
Bradford hit as he threw. tell you, Connor Barwin has been very active today. Bradham applying pressure there. Bonner played so many snaps. Barwin last week, they wanted to limit his number of snaps, worried about fatigue, and he's been quite active today.
Well, I've always liked Connor Barwin as a player, and he drafted by the Houston Texans, and he was drafted as a 4-3 defensive end. He switched to the stand-up linebacker position. As you see the pressure that they've been able to put on Sam Bradford, and I think right now he's back playing the position he's most comfortable playing.
Asiata dropped at the line of scrimmage.
But when you look at the numbers of Sam Bradford's, I mean, heck, he came into the season, or came into this game completing 70% on the season, and that secondary would get a lot of credit for what's happened, and yeah, they deserve some of it, but it's been driven by the defensive front, and they have done a good job of putting pressure on Sam Bradford and making things awfully hard on him.
Jake Long is checked back into the game at left tackle on this series. 3rd down and 9. And lofted to Thielen. What a beautiful throw. There is a penalty flag on the play. He beat Carroll in coverage.
You see the flag come in, waiting on the official to make the call, but Thielen just wins off the line of scrimmage.
Use of the hands to the face. Number 22 of the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
Nolan Carroll is the one called. He comes up and goes hands to the face, but he's trying to get a jam on Thielen off the line of scrimmage, and even if he wasn't penalized, he knocks him off enough, but then he can't regain himself. Thielen gets in behind him, and they're able to convert on that 3rd down.
27-yard gain on that reception. And into the hands of Cordero Patterson. Boy, did he take a lick. But held on to the football.
Well, you talked about Cordero Patterson and him being more involved this year. He's moved up to be the 3rd receiver as you see the hit that he took. He's a big physical guy. And last year, yeah, predominantly a kick return guy, but those are the types of things they're doing with him. The quick screens, the slants, the hitches, get the ball in his hands quickly and let him run with it.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago when the Vikings had 3 number 1 picks. That ball thrown away. Now, remember that? 2013, they had 3 picks in the 1st round. Patterson was one of them. The injured Sharif Floyd, who grew up right here in Philadelphia, was another, as was Xavier Rhodes.
Well, you look at just if you talk, as we show Mike Zimmer, you think about their defense, for instance. People say, why is their defense so good? And, well, 4 of their top 5 guys are 1st-round picks. 2 of their top 3 linebackers are 1st-round picks. There's a lot of talent, and some of that talent was there before Mike Zimmer arrived. They just weren't able to get much out of it.
Rolling on a 3rd down. And that's a big tight end. Drew up in Cincinnati to Kyle Rudolph. 2 sports star, was trying to decide would it be football or would it be basketball. He's a big, strong young man. He made the right pick.
He's a big target. They move the pocket, try to avoid the rush with Sam Bradford. Obviously not a threat as a runner, but get him out on the edge and a clean look and a 1st down to Kyle Rudolph.
First down inside of 35. And slightly underthrown once more. Not sure where Hillman's going anyway. Well, nobody sees sports quite the way Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. The brains to know, the guts to say it. Colin and Jason team up for FS1's daily sports talk show. Speak for yourself. Weekdays at 5 Eastern on FS1.
Well, we saw the last time the Vikings got down here, Jim Schwartz started bringing some pressure. We'll see now they're about that same part of the field, 30-yard line. They're in field goal range. If he tries to create a negative play, here they come.
Here they come is right. And Bradford hit as he throws. It's picked up by Allen. And is that an incompleted pass or a fumble? It is a fumble, and the football
on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down.
So there's the polar bear, Big Bo Allen. Off the edge, it was Rodney McLeod who appeared to jar it loose, and then the big fella Allen got it.
They come off the edge. You got Kendricks. He's there, and safety off the edge as well, and they strip him, and Bo Allen's able to then make a play on the ball, and it's just an excellent job with Jim Schwartz and the defense executing it, having to come up with a play to keep from giving up points, and there's Bo Allen's mom celebrating in the crowd.
And we mentioned they grew up in Minnesota. She's a cancer survivor, donning the pink today. God bless her indeed. And she's excited for her son, who, when he takes that helmet off, he's got a long ponytail. You see he's got the bandana. And he's throwing that hair out to have it all cut off and give it to some folks who could use it after going and undergoing cancer treatment.
Take another look. They bring the house. And Jake Long, as you said, he came in over to that side of the ball. They overload it with the pressure, and just nowhere for Bradford to go. The edge pressure as well gets there and knocks the ball loose. This defensive front has done a heck of a job here in this first half, getting after Sam Bradford.
Down to the 2-minute warning. Philadelphia with a chance to add to this 8-3 lead when we come back.
I will follow you. Ever since you touched my hand, I knew. I love you, I love you, I love you. Where you go, I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. You'll always be my true love, my true love, my true love. Forever.
I know. You want to win this one.
We all do.
But this battle, it will try to take you down.
And that's not who you are. You don't give up.
You keep moving forward with strength, determination,
courage.
When you're knocked down, you get up.
Then you smile for your team.
Because that's who you are.
And that's what it means to be tough.
Now go show them how it's done.
Facing breast cancer. That's the true meaning of tough. See how you can help at FordCares.com.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face.
You don't just watch TV, you love it. They're your shows. Watch them your way. Hey, this guy gets it. Get the new episodes the day after they air. Past seasons, too. Oh, that should be all right. Plus originals and exclusive series. The shows they're talking about. The ones they're texting about. Movies, they're TV, too. Don't forget the kids. What's up, guys? What's up? It's your TV. So's this. And this. And right now, you can get Hulu for just $5.99 a month. Don't just watch TV. Make it yours. Hulu. Come TV with us.
And now, this performance moment brought to you by Bridgestone. Down by 13 in the fourth quarter last week, the Jaguars got a score by Chris Ivory. And with less than 3 minutes left, a 51-yard pass play from Blake Bortles to Aurelius Ben. A critical touchdown at just the right moment that gave the Jaguars the win. Bridgestone engineers tires that perform best when it matters most and salutes NFL players who do the same. Bridgestone, official tire of the NFL.
Turnovers, a story so far today. We remind you to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. 6 turnovers in this game today. Mike Zimmer's offense had not turned the ball over all season long. Today, 2 fumbles and an interception from their quarterback, Sam Bradford. So now the ball at midfield, 2 minutes to go. They hand it off to Matthews, and that's an 8-yard carry on first down.
Well, if you think about it, Tom, the Vikings, their formula, as you look at what's happened through the first 5 games and then today for both of these teams, both with 3 turnovers, their formula, the Vikings, has been, as it was a year ago, last year was run the football, protect it, play great defense. This year it's really been protect the football on offense, play great defense. And you know, they're just not good enough in some key positions offensively to overcome a day like this. Not many offenses are.
Taking one way, come back to Burton, the back backup tight end the other way, and it's thrown well behind him and high. That should have been a first down.
Yeah, he's been a little off on some throws, and sometimes he's had people in his face, and understandably this one was just one he missed, and he knows it. And you know, this is a game right now, the way that it's gone, that Minnesota, this is a big decision here, and being able to make a stop.
Wow, look at this. They're going to go for it on a 4th down or 2.
I think they're probably going to try to draw him off sides. I can't imagine not punting the ball here.
The clock expires. Oh, a timeout was called. I beg your pardon.
All right, coming up on the Visa halftime, Geno Smith gets to start with the Jets as they host the Baltimore Ravens. The Colts try to make it 10 in a row against the Titans, and Cleveland tries yet again to get its first win of the season. We'll be ready for that and more coming up on the Visa halftime.
So a timeout is called. Kurt, thank you very much. Now, Troy, all right, I'm going to put you in the Doug Peterson shoes right now. You have an 8-3 lead. The other team has done next to nothing on offense. But having said that, do you want to hand on the ball? You know, with 1:21 left, if you fail to convert, you go in here?
I would punt here. I would not go for it. It looks like he's going to. They called timeout. They're going to, you know, I can't imagine him trying just the hard count again. But as well as their defense is playing right now, I would punt Minnesota deep and be satisfied going up 8-3.
Nearly lost it on the snap, and Wentz is going to get a first down. A near disaster, and the clock continues to roll as he's inside the 40-yard line. He beat Everson Griffin around the corner.
Well, it almost blew up. You know, him fortunately able to get back onto the ball. Zach Ertz was the one who comes around and makes a key block, which allows Wentz then to get on the edge. In a couple critical situations in this half, we've seen Wentz carry the ball.
Looking for the big play. And there is no penalty flag. How about that? And Dorial Green Beckham got locked up with Xavier Rhodes down there, and Beckham wondering what's going on. Well, it looked like he got a forearm to the belly and just knocked over right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no flag there. Xavier Rhodes, he kind of arm bars him there, knowing he was not anticipating that Green Beckham was going to continue on the go route. Wentz takes a hit low at the end of that one. You know, we've seen that called as well. But a couple breaks there for the Vikings.
49 seconds remain. Trying to fool Minnesota by a little delayed handoff to Matthews, and the Vikings not fooled, especially Eric Kendricks. Last time we had a halftime score of 8-3. Were you born yet? No,
I was not.
Oh, wow. Matthews inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Philadelphia has one timeout remaining, and will spend it right here. It's their final timeout.
Well, Brandon Brooks, the right guard, he pulls around. He's able to pick off the linebacker bar. Jason Peters does a good job kicking out, and there's a nice lane. Then right inside that tackle. Now they're right in a position to come away with at least 3 points. And that decision by Doug Peterson to go for it on 4th down looks like it's going to pay off for him.
That was a 21-yard run. That's a first run this season against this Minnesota defense. It's gone for longer than 20 yards.
Yeah, you don't see any plays like that very often against this Minnesota defense.
All right, so you're out of timeouts. Ball in the 17. Pump fake to the end zone. Good coverage down there by the veteran. Boy, been around forever is Terrence Newman. Just turned 38 years old in his 14th year.
He plays it well. It's good technique. They're trying to run a double move on him on the outside. He doesn't bite. He's in a good position.
Well, he's had a nice career, hasn't he?
He really has. He's been with Zimmer now in Dallas. He went with him when Mike Zimmer became the defensive coordinator with the Bengals, and then Zimmer brought him to Minnesota when he became the head coach.
All right, so with 15 seconds left, the Eagles are going to go ahead and send out their kicker, Caleb Sturgis. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Timeout was called before the snap. Sturgis
First
just
charge
one
timeout,
miss.
Minnesota. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Small screen, stadium-size content. Watch live local Sunday games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. There's been a zany first half, a lengthy one. 5 straight possessions ending in turnovers in the first quarter alone. First time we've seen that since 2005. The only touchdown, a 98-yard kickoff return by Josh Huff. And this Philadelphia defense forcing the 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles by Sam Bradford, the former Eagle, and 1 interception.
Well, when you come into a game like this, Tom, and you've got good defenses and you're expecting a defensive battle, and now they're putting the offense back onto the field with 15 seconds to see if they can't take a shot.
You know, why would you? I mean, you have 15. Now you're out of timeouts again to repeat.
You got to be smart. I mean, I didn't mind the call by Peterson saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and take the 3 points. You got a young quarterback. Everyone has to know the situation. Ball cannot be in bounds and clock running. They're going to have an almost impossible time getting the field goal team onto the field.
Wentz is only 1 for his last 8. And looking to the end zone. And complete. All right, 10 seconds. Do you try to get on 3rd down?
No, I think I don't think so. And I agree now with what Peterson is thinking. But to go back to what I was saying, when you've got defense and you expect it to be a defensive battle, the unit that has to then win is in special teams. And that's been the difference, you know, in this first half was the kickoff return by Josh Huff, and that's what could very well decide this game if it continues is the play on the special teams making the difference.
All right, so now 10 yards, 35 yards out, and it is good. 7 ticks remain, 11-3 is our score here in the opening half. Eagles figure to go into halftime with a lead. And, you know, Troy, I guess before we even get to halftime, let's just start on the Minnesota side very quickly. They've had all the changes along the offensive front, which we've documented. They've had guys in and out today. They've got next to nothing going on offense. What do you do if you're Norv Turner?
Well, it's tough. I think the good thing right now is it's still a tight ball game, so they don't have to get away from they can't get in a situation where they're asking Sam Bradford just to simply drop back. I think you got to stick to what they're doing, but they do have to start getting the ball a little bit further down the field. The quick passing game that they have been known for through the first 5 weeks is great in not taking the sacks, but we've seen that defense continually come down, you know, on those routes, and there's just not much air right now in that defense, and to get it, you've got to start throwing some intermediate stuff and really trust that the line's going to hold up well enough.
Second time of day, ball has been blown off the tee. Still a pretty stiff breeze throughout this entire day in Philadelphia. Boy, it was howling here yesterday. And you could hear that crowd from Happy Valley, Pennsylvania last night celebrating the stunning upset of the Ohio State Buckeyes by the Nittany Lions.
That was a heck of a win by those Nittany Lions, wasn't it?
Yeah. They remind me a lot of Utah. Didn't they play UCLA yesterday? That one bounces into the end zone and through the back of the end zone.
I believe they did, yeah, to answer your question. My Bruins are off to a tough start.
Yeah, they are. But Rich Russo, our director, former lacrosse star at the Pennsylvania State University, he was very, very excited.
Y'all didn't have anything on that game, did you?
No. Nope. Bradford will take a knee. The only touchdown in the first half of this one, 98-yard kickoff return for Josh Huff. 11-3 Eagles. Vikings are unbeaten. 1 half to go. Let's check in back in Los Angeles.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Well, Philadelphia trying to hand the Minnesota Vikings their first loss of the season. It's 11-3 at halftime right now as we check in on Washington and Detroit.
Single back, straight up the middle goes Matt Jones. He fumbles, ball rolls into the end zone and recovered by Tavon Wilson. We got us a ball game going. There it is, Redskins 3, Detroit Lions 3. Not a lot of scoring going in that first half. Saints at the Chiefs, Alex Smith warming up. Back, Alex looking right, firing left. Beautifully thrown ball. Look at the speed turned on by Tyreek Hill, 38-yard touchdown. That's the afterburners right there. 21-7 Chiefs all over the New Orleans Saints. Earlier this morning, Giants, Los Angeles Rams playing in London. Case Keenum, 4 interceptions. Ram quarterback threw in this football game. And Landon Collins got a couple of. What a great job by Collins. He went to the right, cut back, avoided a tackle there, then picked up some blockers downfield, then bulled his way in for the touchdown, 44 yards. Giants get the win, 17-10 over the Los Angeles Rams. Ravens at the Jets. Geno Smith getting the starting job over former starter Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he is taken down hard by Matthew Judon. Smith has to leave the football game with a knee injury. In comes Ryan Fitzpatrick. Look right, shuffle back, little dump straight over the middle to the running back, Matt Forte. He goes in from 13 yards out, and it's Baltimore 16. Jets making a comeback there at 14. Bills at the Dolphins. LaShawn McCoy. Big day last week, 140 yards. This time, fake it to McCoy. And then Tyrod Taylor bootlegs it to the right side. Goes in from 10 yards out. Buffalo looking to go 5 wins in a row. 10-6 on top of the Miami Dolphins. Early in the third quarter. Howie out of the eye. It's your Raiders. Latavius Murray from 2 yards out. Lakeland? Oakland 20. Jackson 6.
Indy and Tennessee.
That's all right, boys. I got too much sleep.
Florida.
Colts at the Titans. Andrew Luck looking for T.Y. Hilton. Beautifully thrown ball to the post. A 37-yard touchdown. 17-13. Colts on top of the Tennessee Titans. And the game everybody's wanting to watch, the Browns at the Bengals. 7 seconds left in the half. Andy Dalton throws it up for A.J. Green. Hail Mary. Okay, here we are. Everybody's down there. Ball bounces up in the air. And wouldn't you know it, A.J. Green there. Right hand on it, pulls it back, bounces down, grabs it, touchdown. Now it's Cleveland 17, but it's Cincinnati Bengals 21. Bengals up by 4 over the Browns.
All right, low-scoring games just about everywhere else, including Philadelphia and Minnesota.
I gotta say, it's not easy doing those highlights. People don't realize, really tough TV. Getting all those names right, man, you do a great job. Just want you to know that as your friend.
Tell the critics out there to get off my...
Yeah, I know. And that's why I said it's not easy. It's easy to do it from the couch, not easy to do it when that TV camera's on you. But, you know, this game, everybody talked about defense. Well, defense has been on the side of Philadelphia in this game. Philly's bringing a lot of pressure against 2 rookie offensive tackles. There you go, Brandon. Graham caused a fumble. Barwin, sack, stripped. Another fumble recovered by the Eagles. And McLeod, another sack, strip, fumble recovered by the Eagles. And the Minnesota Vikings need to find a way to protect Sam Bradford. Give him some time to get the ball down the field or run the ball to upset that rush. Because right now, when you know you have young guys on the end, just sending a lot of pressure has been working.
Rookie quarterback Carson Wentz, struggling against that Minnesota defense, 53 yards passing, 2 interceptions. But you'd expect that. He's going against the best defense in the entire league. He locks in on the receiver there, throws the interception. Here he forces one, gets another interception. Again, going against the best defense in the league. Defensive game, both sides. But, Philadelphia, like you said, Michael, they may have the better defense today.
I agree with Troy. Sam wants to go to the short route, the timing route. It's not there. They're jumping those routes. They need to throw the ball down the field, go max protection on first down, take the ball down the field. Have to protect Sam.
All right, this is the first 11-3 halftime game in the NFL since at least 1925. And the only reason it's there, is because of Jason Huff's Visa Play the first half.
Football fans, here's today's Visa Checkout half-off halftime offer. Use Visa Checkout at Fanatics.com and get $25 off select orders of $50 or more and free shipping.
Are you available?
For what?
Kill the punk that's dating my daughter.
I'll make time for that.
He posted her picture on his Facebook page.
Hell to the no.
Hey, Trish, don't go do nothing that I have to arrest you for. Not that I would ever. You go ahead and commit crime at will, baby.
Lethal Weapon returns after the World Series on Fox.
Paige, Lucy Nolan, tonight on Fox 29, the 10 o'clock news station.
Discover state-of-the-art safety at Toyota's Safety First sales event. The 2016 RAV4 with available Toyota Safety Sense, a 4-feature active safety system, gives you peace of mind on all of life's adventures. Plus, the RAV4 has an available bird's-eye view camera for better driver awareness. During Toyota's Safety First sales event, get 0% APR financing on a 2016 RAV4 or get $750 customer cash. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Got pork? Steve Sanaciro does. He voted to borrow $600 million for wasteful spending, including pork barrel projects like buildings for politicians, and supported walking around money for legislators to fund secret pet projects. How did he pay for it? Well, he didn't. You did. Sanaciro voted to raise gas taxes and driving fees, and his town supervisor voted for record property tax increases. Taxin' Steve Sanaciro. His record stinks. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Lexus, what we learn on the track doesn't stay on the track. It just finds more street legal form. Experience the power and precision of the Lexus F-Sport Performance line. Lease the 2016 IS 300 all-wheel drive for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Nearly 3,000 miles. That's how far away Republican Party bosses looked to find Brian Fitzpatrick. They handpicked him to run for his brother's seat. But all Mike and Brian Fitzpatrick share is a name. Brian Fitzpatrick supports a radical Republican agenda, including defunding Planned Parenthood, just like Donald Trump. 160 miles down the road in D.C., Brian Fitzpatrick will put his party first, not Pennsylvania families. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Today, don't miss the incredible story of Yankee legend and two-time World Series MVP Reggie Jackson in the making of Mr. October. Here's a sneak peek.
I called up to the booth and I said, hey, Stick, what do you got? And they said, they're going to pitch you in. I made the Hall of Fame and could not hit the ball in. And so I got off home plate about 4 inches.
The making of Mr. October, coming up today on Fox.
Pitch, all new Thursday on Fox.
Change has never been more powerful. We're rolling out our capable new lineup during Nissan's Year of the Truck and SUV event. The all-new Armada and Pathfinder, plus the award-winning Murano and our best-selling Rogue with intuitive all-wheel drive. Take on any terrain. Get to Nissan now for big savings and get a low $179 per month lease on Rogue or lease Pathfinder just $259 per month.
Thank you for making FS1 America's new #1 sports network.
Who could have predicted that plot twist?
Give me more of that.
#1 all day.
That's the hottest seat in sports media.
I love it. #1 in live events.
This place will be rocking all night long.
And the #1 cable network in prime time.
And here we go.
With duty, honor, and country, the United States Army was created on a Thursday. So just imagine what this Thursday will bring, only on NFL Network.
1, 2, 3.
When Blake Bortles and the Jaguars face AFC South rivals Marcus Mariota and the Titans in a Thursday night showdown. It's Jaguars, it's Titans, it's only on NFL Network. Anything can happen on Thursday. Thursday night football, only on NFL Network.
Now here's a man who loves his job and the kids he's working with. A spectacular job at halftime here in Philadelphia, where the Eagles lead the Minnesota Vikings, getting them fired up here in Philly.
Mars will be the greatest adventure ever.
Mars, a global event series, Monday, November 14th on the National Geographic Channel.
Fox 29 News at 11.
This is Ben. We met online.
Kim's the internet sales manager.
They call me the matchmaker.
I was searching for the perfect Ford.
And with everything Ford has to offer, I knew we'd find it. Smart, outdoorsy, fun,
and easy on the eyes.
Everything you wanted.
That's why she's the matchmaker.
Yep.
Now lease a new 2017 Ford Escape for just $259 a month with a matching down payment of only $259. That's right, only $259 down.
See your local Ford dealer today.
Son, there's something really important I need to tell you.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Dad? Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Dad. Who was it? I'm not your father.
What?
Pat Toomey and Donald Trump, they're just wrong for the women of Pennsylvania.
New fallout for Donald Trump.
Should the woman be punished for having an abortion? There has to be some form of punishment. For the woman? Yeah, there has to be some form.
I would support legislation in Pennsylvania that would ban abortion, and I would suggest that we have penalties for doctors who perform them.
Pat Toomey and Donald Trump, they're not for you. Senate Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Remember when everything you did was for the fun of doing it? BMW sports activity vehicles are the perfect combination of ample space, dynamic power, and sleek design. There truly is an X perfect for every adventure, so you can go wherever the fun takes you. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Lease a BMW X1, xDrive 28i for as low as $269 per month.
Everyone around the world wants one thing.
It's a beautiful day to win.
Football all day.
We're all in this together, man.
And it starts live from London. Kirk Cousins and the Redskins
1, 2, 3.
take on A.J. Green and the Bengals.
And he said, see you later.
Wake up, America. Wake up for football.
Redskins touchdown.
Dalton throws into the end zone.
Caught for a touchdown. One of the craziest games ever.
Redskins, Bengals. Next Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
Today's excitement brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. And that was today's excitement brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Not a lot of excitement except for that 98-yard kickoff return. Well, you're making more history, Mr. Aikman. I mean, you know, you win Super Bowls, you win MVPs, you go to the Hall of Fame, and here you are, an 11-3 halftime score.
That was a bizarre first half, as crazy as I've seen. As far as all the turnovers that took place.
Well, let's check in downstairs at halftime with Aaron Andrews.
Talked to Mike Zimmer going in, and he said his offense was flat out embarrassing. He said to me, we haven't blocked worth anything. We can't find a combination on the offensive line. I asked him what he's going to do about that in the second half, and he said he hopes somebody on the line can step up. Asked him about his quarterback, Sam Bradford. He says he's just simply been inaccurate. He's missing. I asked Coach Zimmer if the wind was a factor. He said no, he just can't get anything done right now.
All right. Strong words from a no-nonsense kind of guy. And that is Mike Zimmer. 60 years young, out of Lockport, Illinois. McKinnon is back in the game. He was injured in the first half, you may remember, and that's it. And a good first down carry, a gain of 9. A lot of pressure by this Philadelphia defense on Sam Bradford.
Yes, there was. And as you see, just as he's trying to throw the ball, he's getting roughed up. And a couple different times. That time Connor Barwin comes around and makes a play, and Then you got McLeod, who put pressure on him as well. So, yes, he has at times missed some throws, but I think it's had more to do with the pressure. And the offensive line issues for this Vikings offense continue.
Good patient running there by McKinnon. Waited on a block, got it from Kyle Rudolph on Connor Barlow. And that's a first down on back-to-back carries by Jerick McKinnon in his 3rd year out of Georgia Southern.
You got to be happy to get him back in there, but like I said last year, when you've got Adrian Peterson back there and you look at these numbers, I mean, offensively for both teams, just not much there. It was all defense and all takeaways.
Well, the most incredible line on that stat comparison we just showed you there a moment ago is a line where it says turnovers and then points off turnovers. Combined 6 turnovers in this game. 3 points have been scored off those 6.
Yeah, because then the other team just gave it right back. It just kept going back and forth. And I was going to say is when you've got Adrian Peterson, he makes up for some problems, up front. And last year they averaged over 4 yards a carry, and without him, this running game has really suffered.
Blitz coming. Bradford gets away from the first one, but not the second one. It was Malcolm Jenkins initially, and then Hicks finished him off.
Kyle Rudolph, he went down. I couldn't tell if they were trying to, maybe run some type of screen pass off of it, but the pass rush gets to Bradford. He's not able to do much other than just try to protect himself in bringing up what has kind of been the thing throughout this game, 3rd and long.
Wraps him up and throws him down, a sack all the way to the 25.
Well, Asiata, he's here. He's going to come up. He's going to try to protect. He's not able to get it complete. His man, so Sam can't really step up, but the edge pressure off of right tackle Searles is what initially got Bradford's attention. 3rd and long, they pin their ears back. They've had success throughout this game, and that Vikings offense went the wrong direction.
Jeff Clark, a busy man today on the punt. And Sproles will let it bounce. Takes a favorable bounce from Minnesota. Down to the 23-yard line. First possession for Wentz and company. Look out down there now. Settle down. 11-3.
General, there's been a breach. We need your password so we can lock down the system.
My password?
Yes, sir. We need your password.
The password that I use?
Yes, sir. Your password.
There's been another breach. Sir.
Right. Oh, okay. IHATEMYJOB1.
I hate my job. 1.
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $59 one way. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Take on the unexpected with a car that could stop for you. Nissan Safety Shield Technologies, available on the Altima, Sentra, and Maxima. Now get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash.
This R2 unit must be delivered to the rebellion.
Come on, R2.
Welcome to the rebellion.
This is for you.
Duracell and Children's Miracle Network hospitals are powering imaginations everywhere.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Nissan, innovation that excites. And by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it? The rain didn't slow those young fellas down playing football yesterday. Gloucester County against Clearview. Great stuff.
Yeah, those kids at that age, watching them run around, and you know, a lot of those guys, they don't even look like they can hold their heads up. The helmet's so heavy. You know?
Right.
120! 127!
To the inside is Ryan Matthews, and a pretty good carry on first down up close to the 30-yard line. Take a look who's here. There to the left of your screen is Mike Trout. Probably the best all-around player in Major League Baseball today. And well, you talk about guys that get it done out of the bullpen. Pair of left-handers. Flame-throwing Aroldis Chapman. Andrew Miller for the Cleveland Indians with a spectacular league championship series.
I was at a Rangers game a couple years ago when they opened up against the Angels, and I saw Trout. He looked like he could play a little football.
Sure
He's got some size.
He is a season ticket holder to the Eagles. He grew up in New Jersey, just up the road a ways.
Well, there hasn't been a lot going on here in this ball game. I think somebody probably just told him, hey, you're on TV. But, yeah, he's on to other things. But I'll tell you, when you're Minnesota and your offense is struggling like that right now, it's a one-possession game at 8 points. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense because you start to think, man, you get down by 2 scores, you know, how's our offense going to be able to move the ball and get back in it? So they've got to be, you know, really good here on out. Try to slow, not that the Eagles have done much offensively, but, you know, any one play here or there can make a huge difference in the game.
Stone even brought out the sticks for the measurement there. It appeared he was beyond the marker and is for a first down. Let's go downstairs to Aaron.
In talking to Doug Peterson about his quarterback in that first half, guys, he said he really felt like Carson forced some things early, but was able to settle down towards the end of the first half. He told him the goal here for the second is just to keep continuing to manage it along. Don't force things like you did before. Also, another thing, as you can imagine, he stressed these penalties. He said you have to stop. One final note for the Vikings, Andrew Sendejo, guys, he is out with an ankle.
Tough break there for Minnesota. This is Smallwood who checks into the game. Tackled by Kendricks on a first down run, a gain of close to 4. And that looks like fifth-year lineman out of Miami of Ohio, the starting right guard, Brandon Brooks. Big free agent signee from Houston during the offseason is injured. Been a lot of players getting nicked up and beat up here today, and we're only in the third quarter.